Hi everyone, today we are going to make a delicious, easy fall soup. If you know tamales, we're going to make a tamale soup. And it's going to be so easy, full of flavor. It's 'tis the season for everything this fall, including soup. So let's put this one together. To add some freshness to our soup, we're going to start off with 1 yellow onion. And we're going to dice that up. It'll add some nice flavor. All right, we're just going to cut it in half, run our knife through the onion, and then dice it up. All right, let's start sauteing down the onion. We're going to add 1 tablespoon of cooking oil to a bottom of a large Dutch oven or your large soup pot. We're going to add in the onion and start sauteing that down. All right, we're going to get that going. Let's talk about this little guy here. Now later on in the recipe, you can add a can of black beans, drain them, rinse them. Now I'm not a big fan of the beans, so I always like to substitute a zucchini. And then since we're going to do that, we're just going to dice it up and add it to the onion when we're about halfway done. So what I'm going to do is just cut it lengthwise, cut the lengthwise pieces twice, and that'll give us 6 pieces. This is just a medium size, so it depends on the size of your zucchini, or if you're going to use a zucchini. I use it to bulk it up. Once we get this all diced up, we're going to add it to the onion, give it a little seasoning. We're going to season with some salt and pepper. We'll cook this down for about 5 minutes. All right, we're going to start with adding 2 cans. I have 1 can of diced tomatoes. We'll add the juices and all. And then 1 can of whole kernel corn. We will drain that. These are, let's see, 14.5 ounce size and around 15 ounces here, so pretty close to that. And a can of corn. All right, we're going to season with some taco seasoning. Now this is my homemade blend, and you can find my big batch taco seasoning on my website, catherinesplates.com. I'll put it right across right here where you can go in and find that. Make your own blend. That way you don't have all that artificialness inside of there. All right, 3 tablespoons going in. Smells really delicious. It's going to add a lot of flavor. All right, go make your own. All right, we're going to add some tomato paste to kind of give it a more richer flavor in there. About 1 tablespoon. Woo, there we go. All right, we're going to add in about 2 cups of chicken broth. Now you can add beef broth if you want. Chicken broth is a lighter flavor. It'll help all those other flavors come through. All right, we're going to stir this all together. We kind of want to bring this to a simmer, get all those flavors going, and then let's talk about the tamales. Hang on to the flavor and some extra broth in case you need it. We are using a can of Hormel tamales beef in chili sauce. You can use frozen tamales if you want. This is going to be a really hearty soup, perfect for game day. Double up the batch and just bowl this one out. People are going to be amazed. You're not making homemade tamales, but we got a lot of flavor in there. And we got the corn in there that'll act like that husk flavor of the tamale, right? Okay, so we're gonna come up here and we're gonna take a look at this right here. All right, we're gonna take the tamales out of the can. Now they're wrapped in paper, and we're gonna take the paper off. The top pieces wanna come out, don't they? Yeah, don't cut these with the wrappers on them, okay? So take that wrapper off. It's kind of like a wax paper that keeps these all separated. Oh, they smell good. I loved good tamale. I think that's all of them. I think we have one right here. Yep. They're kind of falling apart there. All right. So we're going to take this and toss this. All right, now what we want to do is just cut these in disc. That way you can see the inside of the tamale. Gives you a little ring. Just like that. So that's what it's going to look like right there. You'll have those in your soup. I'm going to show you how we're going to jazz this up. Make it look like a really nice bowl of soup. My dad, he loved these tamales in a can. So I thought I'd give them a try in a soup. Kind of gives a flavor of a tortilla soup with the broth and everything. And then we're going to add this to it. And the only meat in this soup is what's coming out from the tamales here. All right, we're going to add that to the soup. Cut them pretty big because I want them to keep their shape. All right, we're going to simmer this for about 10 to 15 minutes. That way the tamales pick up all the flavors in the soup. Look at that. Doesn't that look delicious? Grab a spoon, you guys, and before the simmering is done, give it a taste and see if you need to add anything. Wow. I don't think I can add anything to that. The salt level is just perfect in there. The taco seasonings, that's delicious. All right, I'm going to come back. We're going to bowl this up, and I'm going to show you what we're going to put on top of it. Here it is, you guys. Now, I suggest you use 2 cans of the tamales. All right, I'm going in for a bite. Some of that broth, a little bit of sour cream, cool things down a little bit, make it creamy. There's my bite. Y'all, that is delicious. I'd definitely get a tamale from that. And all those flavors from the broth. Love that corn in there. That's what you need. Those tamales. They're nice and puffy. That's delicious. I get a little beef from it. And you determine how much heat you want from that. If you don't want the canned tomatoes in there, you can put like a can of Rotel tomatoes and then lessen the heat from your taco seasoning. Play around with it and get the flavors that you like. Double up that, you guys, for football season, and then double up those tamales. You want plenty of them in your soup. All right, I'll see you all on the next episode. Bye, you guys.